So, Charlie Kirk got killed earlier today. I found out about this while I was onboarding at my new job. Notification hit my phone saying that Charlie Kirk got shot today at a one of his tour things where he's debating people and stuff like that in his little tent on college campuses and stuff. Oh wow, that is actually really. I'm kind of like scramble brain right now because I've tried to take all day processing the long-term ramifications of this as well as processing the responses from both the left and the right on this. First off, let me say I saw the video in my car after I got out of work. The zoomed in version where you can clearly see the bullet enter his neck and his neck is just gushing blood out like it's Red Dead Redemption 2 kind of shit. Do not watch that video for the love of God. I actually could not watch it a second time, and I consider myself a relatively hard ass person. Perhaps my hardness has worn down. But I couldn't watch it a second time. It is actually really fucking hard to watch seeing that happen. And second of all, I want to clarify like my stance overall on this, just for the record, in case this comes try to bite me in the ass in the future or something like that. Am I going to celebrate this guy's death? No, I am not celebrating him, nor do I condone or support any kind of political violence in general, both for empathetic reasons and also for the practical implications of political violence, especially in a country like America. Am I going to mourn his death? No, not that either, to be honest, because this guy stood as pretty much the modern Rush Limbaugh. He is virtually, or I guess you could say he was, virtually everything that I despise, everything that I hate. He is the embodiment of all the values that I stand against as an anarchist and an egoist. But that being said, as somebody who has lost a parental figure, I do feel bad for his kid. I think he has two kids actually, right? He has two kids and his wife. His kids aren't going to be able to grow up without a father now, which, as far as I'm aware, Charlie Kirk wasn't like abusive or anything like Steven Crowder. So I do genuinely feel bad for his kids, and I do hope they can find some sign of closure as somebody who's also gone through similar traumatic experiences regarding that kind of loss. I will say this of Charlie, despite um, our very obvious political disagreements, I do genuinely respect how he was a actual debater kind of guy. In the past few years, the amount of right-wingers who are actively putting themselves out there to debate and even possibly get squashed by some sort of Gen Z or something like that has significantly gone down. You have like a couple of guys who are still doing debates, or like high profile guys in that kind of space, like Tim Pool, who will sometimes bring a guy on to be able to debate and stuff like that, like he's debated Pisco and stuff like that. But Charlie, out of everybody that I know in that kind of space, in like the big uh conservative activist space, Charlie is pretty much the only one who still goes to college campuses and gets himself challenged. He still gets ran over sometimes, especially by like those Cambridge students a few months ago. But as much as I disagree with him on virtually every single thing besides arguably guns, I'm a pro-gun person. I do respect that he put himself out there and he still let himself get owned, I guess you can say. There have been a fair amount of times when people my age and people younger than him have completely destroyed him, like a couple of those Cambridge students, for instance. There was also a vegan who debated him a little while ago who completely floored him. Regardless of his motivations for it, whether it's just like collecting liberal owned type of videos and stuff like that, which he usually does. That's kind of pretty much the backbone of why he's doing it. He did put himself out there, and he did let himself get challenged, and that is something that I do genuinely respect as somebody who does also do a lot of debating and stuff like that, because I really do like to debate. I do respect people who do put themselves out there, especially on a consistent basis, like Charlie did. Unfortunately, that is also the thing that got him killed, which, yeah, it's a fucked up situation in America right now. Something that I kind of wanted to go over as well with this whole thing is the left's response to it. Now, you have a lot of the left who is condemning this, obviously, like they have their thoughts and wishes and stuff like that out there, right? Thoughts and prayers towards the atheist version of thoughts and prayers for the family, and people who are starting to go on to talking about gun control and stuff, not really addressing the root issues behind why this stuff happens to begin with, just the typical surface level gun control, oh, let's fix a little bit of the system kind of thing for 4 years until the other guy gets voted in and rolls back all the laws that fixed it. But then I see some other lefties who are like celebrating it and stuff, and who apparently have seen the video and are cheering it on. Now, because I'm an egoist and I'm pretty open about that, and I don't necessarily think morality exists, I won't condemn it as wrong in a moral sense. But what I will say is, for varying different reasons, both from like a self-interest perspective and also from a strategic optical perspective as well, anybody who's like dancing around on TikTok, fucking cheering like crab raving and shit about this guy dying, you're kind of a fucking idiot. And I will actually show why real quick. I see stuff like this earlier today. This chick saying Charlie Kirk shot on my birthday, best birthday present ever. Someone tagging the FBI and her saying I'm so scared. And then she gets doxxed. And I went to go look at her account, and it's now deleted. There's a bunch of fucked up things about celebrating somebody's death, especially a political figure that is as, I guess you could say, widely beloved as Charlie Kirk, because he was a very popular guy. The issue with stuff like this, not only is it really fucking stupid from like a self-interest perspective, the fact that right-wingers are very, very crazy about this kind of stuff. You go celebrate one of their favorite political figures' death, and they will hunt you down, and they will ruin your life if your OPSEC is horrible, like leaving a fucking, what is that, a LinkedIn profile up there and stuff like that. It's also bad for optical reasons because of the fact that we live in a very polarized country right now, and we are currently under a authoritarian government. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We are under an authoritarian government right now. The last thing you want to do is celebrate the death of a close ally of the current guy who's trying to force his way into being a dictator. What is wrong with you? I've been so fucking pissed off seeing people celebrate this stuff from like an optic standpoint. There's a lot of like decent colloquially decent lefties out there and stuff who are, accidentally knocked my thing a little bit, who aren't celebrating this, and who are kind of more optically aware of what's going on and how this could backfire on the left and stuff like that. But you also have a lot, like I saw a bunch on Twitter, who are dancing around and celebrating and stuff like that. And I just gotta say, those people are going to ruin their own lives, considering they are already going viral on Twitter. But yeah, I just did want to address the left's reaction as well as obviously the right is going way overboard with Trump, like putting all of the American flags across the United States, or requesting all of them to be at like half mast or something like that. And I'm like, you didn't do that for those Democratic politician a little bit ago who apparently got gunned down by a right winger and stuff like that. Didn't do anything for those guys, but like, it's whatever. The right's acting like the right. You can't really expect much more of them. And something I didn't go over a second ago with the left as well is the political implications of this. Political commentators, propagandists, podcasters, all of them are now on the radar for political assassinations. The next two guys that I believe could possibly be assassinated, I'm going to be completely honest, is either Hassan or Destiny. Those are like the two top contenders for who's going to be assassinated by the right next. And I can see this being a snowball effect thing, where you keep going back and forth between killing each other's political commentators and propagandists and stuff like that. This has serious political implications going long term. And it feels like at this point, if a guy like Charlie Kirk can just be shot in the neck like that and killed, who's going to stop it from happening to anybody else at this point? Including me, assuming I grow to a bigger size like that, including Dean Withers, including Parker, maybe even Ben Shapiro or Matt Walsh, or literally any of these guys. If you get to a big enough size now and somebody hates you enough, you can end up getting assassinated. Like, that's ridiculous. And I don't think many people are really talking about that for some reason. Probably because they're all too busy politicizing it for their own little political games, whether it's gun control or finding some way to make it about black people or some shit like that. I've seen some people make this a racial thing. Um, but yeah, I just kind of wanted to give my thoughts on this because I don't know. I needed to vent a little bit, I guess. I've been having a little bit of a rough week myself. So I just need a little bit of a place to vent. I'm afraid for what's going forward. I'm not gonna lie. It's really fucking rough in current events right now in America. I'm not sure how it's going on in the rest of the world. It's probably going worse somewhere else, but right here, right now, the news cycle is fucking rough, man. I don't want to see anybody else die personally because I do still have empathy. I still have those neurological signals going on in my head whenever I see somebody get shot and I see somebody have blood gush out of the thing because I don't want to see that guy. I don't want to see Charlie Kirk die, believe it or not. It was genuinely shocking, and I've seen even a few other political commentators watch it live, and even they were visibly shooken, and they were on the left. I'm not gonna really name names just so they don't get in like trouble or anything. I don't fucking know. Um, but yeah, I do wish his family the best. I really hope that I'm wrong on this and that this won't spiral out of control. Um, this wasn't an organized video, as you can see, obviously, by a lot of my pausing and kind of like scatterbrainness. But yeah, that's really all I have to say. I was going to drop a Tilly Millhurst versus Charlie Kirk retrospective video, but I guess I'm going to be putting that off for like a month now because right now feels way too soon for that, and I don't want to come across as if I'm trying to cash in on the guy's death or anything like that. So that's not going to be posted for a little while. Don't go killing people, please. I wholeheartedly condemn political violence for various reasons, and yeah, I guess I'm just going to end it there. I guess as a way to end it off, I will just say this. To both sides, both the left and the right, who both celebrate deaths and everything like that whenever your least favorite or most hated political figure dies or is killed, you don't win in a country like America with bullets and shooting people down. You win with ideas. That's how you're going to grow your movement. There is just no way we're going to be able to get anywhere with violence in this country realistically. That's what I'll end it out on, and I guess I'll just see you guys on the next one.